What's the best way to wrap up a conversation with someone who will not stop talking? Sorry to cut you off, but I actually gotta run. They'll talk to you later, and just walk away immediately. What if you're at work together? Alright, well, I've gotta get back to work. If they stand there and keep talking while you're working. Look man, you're really distracting me. I need to get some work done, we'll talk later. Suddenly gasp, yell my souffle, and dash out of the room. My spinach puffs. I'll watch the movie today with my kids. Right. The movie. The movie for the kids. The llama movie specifically chosen for the kids to watch. The llama movie. That movie? That movie. Gotcha covered. Slap your knees and say whelp. This in Wisconsin means we're gonna talk for about another 15 minutes to half an hour. Then it's, better get going. That's another 5 to 10 minutes. Then hug, talk for a few more minutes, and you can leave. And all of this talking is done standing up next to the door with coat and shoes on. What do you mean standing next to the door? We still have the driveway chat to look forward to next. And then through the window when the person has gotten into their car. Wow, my mom doesn't even let me shut my car door until she's done talking. LOL. I've actually put my car in drive, pulled forward a few feet so that I could shut my door, then waved at her as I backed out of her driveway. Continue the conversation but start walking toward the door. They should follow you without thinking, then just escort them out the door and voila. Do this all the time to contractors that come in my shop and have 1,000 stories. I have a customer that I have to do this with. I can go lock the door at closing time and he'll just sit at the counter talking. Edit, think that should be SIT not set. I've had this customer before. I started looking at my phone each time she'd come in and say I'm not ignoring you by the way, just gotta check the train times. Eventually she took the hint, offering, alright, let me get out of here. I know you've got a train to catch. Simple, effective, and factual. Hold on, just trying to figure out which trains I'll be missing. Sorry to butt in, but you'll be dropping me off at home, right? Insta-bail. I had a classmate with autism and when he felt like the conversation was finished he would just walk away. Didn't matter if you were still talking directly to him. I have an immense amount of respect for that guy. When my son was a toddler and we'd put him on the phone with grandma, he'd talk to her for a few minutes and then say, I'm done talking to you now and hand the phone back. I had nothing but respect for him. When I was a kid, my great aunt would do this to me LOL. My mom would force me to talk on the phone with her, and she'd eventually just be like, okay, I don't want to talk to you no more. Man, the very young and the very old really have it made in this regard. The same when loudly pointing out people that are overweight. Towards the end, my grandma would greet some people by just saying, gosh, you're getting fat. One of my final memories of my sweet, sweet grandmother is her telling me to my face, in great detail, how stupid I look with a beard. Well, I'm gonna let you go. On that same line I say something like I'll let you get back to your day or if I know a task they're working on or if they're eating etc. That gives them the opportunity to then say something like oh I don't mind continuing this conversation while I eat. It can backfire and then you'd have to be more upfront about how you're the one that wants to end the convo. I've had that happen before and it's easy to just sidestep it jokingly and say that I wouldn't want them to choke while I walk away. At that point, the ice has been broken and you can just say, okay, well sorry but I actually do have to go. Nice talking to you though. Point and act like there's something behind them and when they look away run as fast as you can. Holy shit, what is that behind you? Where? Runs away. Looks back and you're gone like Batman. Frantically pick up your phone and say you're sorry you really have to go. An avalanche? In the backyard? Aurora borealis? At this time of year? At this time of day? In this part of the country? Localized entirely within your kitchen? Yes. May I see it? No. I have to return some videotapes. I've assessed the situation, and I'm leaving. I'm sorry, you're not terribly important to me. Don't just stare at it, eat it. Murders and executions, mostly. There are definitely some people in the world who need to hear this line, lol. I don't know if it's still around, but there was an Android app at one time that would ring your phone in 10 or 30 seconds or something if you pressed the volume button a few times quickly, even if the phone was asleep. Reach into your pocket, adjust the volume, continue your conversation for a bit, then excuse yourself to take the phone call. I made an automation for the iPhone that did this. I made it pick a random time between 1 to 3 minutes so it caught me off guard too, lol. How did you do that? We need to know. Did you do this in the Shortcuts app? If you're willing to share, I'd love to know how you did it. That's awesome, lol. Move your index finger slowly to their mouth as you softly say, SHHH. You'll get all sorts of reactions, it's great. For added effect, you can place your fingertip just slightly in their nostril. For even more added effect, you can place your other fingertip just slightly inside their anus. Super bonus points if both fingers are on the same hand. Mr. Fantastic has entered the chat. Ms. Maximoff was not amused. Sorry to cut you short, but you've got more talk than I've got time. This is really good. This reads like something Arthur Morgan would say. Okay, catch you later then. Just state how you feel at the moment. Example 1, I'm hungry. Asterisk walk away. Example 2, I'm tired. Asterisk walk away. Example 3, I'm horny. Asterisk walk towards them. All of them should end the conversation promptly. Instructions unclear, now having intercourse. Yeah, but are they still talking? Yes, and they're fucking me too now. Just quietly sush them and put your finger on that mouth. This requires a certain amount of impoliteness, but then again they're also very unpolite, by not stopping their convo. Like others already said, tell them you have to go, turn and walk away. But something that I found most helpful is, keep walking, even if they keep talking to you. Maybe throw up a hand as a wave, but whatever you do, keep your back to them and keep walking away. Good luck, people like that are demon spawn ISTG, they're here to make life hell for others. Never stop moving, if you stop it's over. And don't look back. Nothing is worth the risk. Nothing is worth the risk. Like a shark. The opposite of dealing with a T-Rex. My family and I were out walking our dog recently. We bumped into a lady who said our dog reminded her of her dog that died last year. We made sympathetic noises for a bit and then started to make the kind of noises and movements to wrap up the conversation and move on. And she just kept on talking and talking and talking. Her husband had wandered off already. I guess he knew where this was going. After 5 minutes I wandered off. My wife, who is generally a nicer person than me, stayed and listened a bit more. The kids started to wander off after me, and eventually my wife just shrugged, started to wander off too, with this woman still talking as if we were still there. She was still talking to nobody at all until we drifted out of earshot. My friend's mom is like this. The entire family would walk away and I'd be left awkwardly listening. My parents raised me to be polite, and the first time when she realized I was still there, she looked shook. I sometimes suspect she does it exactly for this purpose, to make everyone leave. I've honest to God gotten out of some sticky situations with cops by just turning my ADHD up to 11 and letting her rip. Last time, I ended up giving an excited lecture on the history of soda can pull tabs. His eyes glazed over like a Krispy Kreme and he told me to leave. Also works when haggling with used car dealerships. Oof, that is the saddest defense reflex I can imagine. It's also a perfect detail for a character in a novel. I like to keep a cheap USB drive on me for moments like this. I get dozens of them at trade shows and never use them. Write something cryptic on it like Marseille's, Jungle Book or Vanilla 15. As soon as you get the sense that the person is going to talk your ear off, start looking around periodically as if you're watching for someone. Look out a window, at another part of the crowd, anywhere you might recognize someone from a bit of a distance. Mutter shit under your breath and interrupt the person, say something like, "Listen, I don't have much time and I cannot tell you how important this is, but for your sake and mine, I need to leave this with you and get out of here quickly." Attempt to hand them the drive. Thanks to Hollywood, the effect here is strongest if you take the drive out from an inside jacket pocket or a small lady's clutch. Most people won't take it, and at this point they likely won't want to talk to you anymore. If they do take the drive, say to them, "My country is indebted to you, please keep the device safe. We can never speak again." You'll be hearing from the cherry orchard, then walk away briskly, looking over your shoulder. Preload it with a folder full of suggestive David Hasselhoff pictures for maximum effect. Germany is indebted to you. Or David Spade pics. Or just the video of him eating that cheeseburger. To get rid of unwanted suitors, female dragonflies drop out the sky and then pretend to be dead. So I suggest lying motionless on the ground. All this tells me is that male dragonflies have the decency not to see an unconscious female as an opportunity. Play dead under a broom. Gonna use this next time at the bar. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.